What up, y'all? It's your boy, One Sir Grove. This is the 62nd episode of C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. Man, I hope that you're having a pleasant day, midday, evening, night, wherever the fuck you are in the world. Man, I can tell you out here in the East, bro, today is a pleasantly low humidity day. It's the fucking football season, man, and I'm rooting for the New York Giants. Yeah, so look, this is a continuation of episode 61. Episode 61 was about DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency's, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency's new idea to infect insects with viruses to help save America's crops. That's what we talked about. That shit is fucking lunatic. So I want to continue with that. What I was talking about in that previous episode, as I listened back on the podcast, again, episode 61. And by the way, I sincerely appreciate y'all tuning in. If it's your first time or if it's your second or multiple time. So back to what I was talking about. This again is a continuation of episode 61. What I was alluding to was that if you follow Project Blue Book, okay, so this is going to be more about Project Blue Book than it is about DARPA insect virus spreading. This is about alien life forms, alien advanced biological entities, extraterrestrial biological entities, EBEs, you name it. Any creature, being, life form of any nature, whether advanced or not so advanced, from another star system, another planet, another planetary system, another planetary star system, another fucking goddamn universe, a parallel universe, a universe that isn't necessarily parallel, just another universe, another fucking galaxy, another system, another space. And there are lots of different things in the multiverse that people of this planet, so-called Earth, do not know about and don't know about. So I want to look at Project Blue Book with you. I want to look at Majestic 12 and what it was and what it is and what people think it was and is, and the different layers of secrecy. So one of the things we need to quickly talk about, by the way, this is a mobile podcast. One of the things that I should point out that not everyone knows is that there are known to be, this is declassified information. This is what I'm sharing with you. Obviously, I someone who comes from a background in international security, I'm not going to violate any oath of secrecy and disseminate any information publicly that is in violation of secrecy agreements that I have signed. So that said, the levels of secrecy above the president are about 15 that are known publicly. So people who have done their homework, who have done their math, and they have looked at security clearances from public trust, confidential, secret, top secret, above top secret. I want you to do something, man. I want you to fucking go to Wikipedia, and I want for you to look up security clearances. I'd like for you, the audience, the global world audience. By the way, this podcast has gained traction. We have downloads. We have fucking plays. We have on-demand plays. We have advertising. We have major advertisers. So we're doing really fucking well with this show. So I would like for the audience to look up security clearances. Wiki that shit. Okay, look up in Wikipedia specifically what Wikipedia has on file for levels of security clearances. People who don't understand the security clearance process, people outside government who talk about top secret clearances and security clearances and secret clearances and all these different things, they think that there are a handful, like there are literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? They don't understand that there are so fucking many that some of them, it gets to a point where some of these security clearances are are classified themselves. Like the names of them are classified. Like the public cannot even know the name of the fucking type of security clearance that it is. Okay? So there are security clearances that in and of themselves, the names of those security clearance levels, those security clearances, the titles of those security clearances, instead of it being known to the public, in other words, that person has public trust, that person has secret, that person has top secret, that person has above top secret, classified, TSSCI, secret compartmentalized, intelligence, secret compartmented, depending on the English there that you're seeing, because it changes and it depends on the context. But compartmentalized intelligence information of a secret nature, top secret and above top secret, cosmic, Q clearance, L clearance, L is in Lima, fucking Sigma, what have you, okay? It goes on. There are 15 fucking levels that the public knows about that are above what the President of the United States has in terms of security credentials. Now imagine this. The United States President, whoever it is, on any timeline of reality, whoever it has been, whoever it will be, whoever it is currently, the President of the United States is known to have the football, the Yankee Fire and Yankee White codes to kick off the football in the event of a nuclear fucking conflict, right? That's the football with the nuclear codes that people talk about. Oh, I don't know if the president should have the code. Yeah, you don't know, right? I don't know if Donald Trump should have access to nuclear weapons. Really? But you wanted to give fucking Obama access to those codes? Come on, dude. Really? Fucking really? Wake up, dude. Okay? So, yeah, Trump has access to the codes. Obama had access to the codes. Whoever it was and has been and will be has access to those codes. But now imagine this. You think that's high level shit? You think that's high? It is in some regard. There are 15 levels above that of which the public knows and is aware. And those levels are above the president. The president doesn't have access to those levels. The president is not cleared on those levels. The president cannot know about those fucking levels. It's off limits to the president. There are levels of secrecy, 15, at least, no less than 15 above the president, that the president cannot, by law, I said by law, son, cannot motherfucking know about. The president can't even know about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Come on with me. Audience 15, at least. And you know that there are more. So what the fuck is above the president? What entities, what are we talking about here? And I'm being rhetorical here because I know. But I'm asking you, if you're not cleared, and if you don't have security credentials, if you're an observer, if you're a scholar, if you're an academic, if you're an academician, if you're the scholarly type, if you're a researcher, if you're a student, if you're someone in training, if you're in the process of gaining clearance, if you've had clearance, lost clearance, and you're trying to regain clearance, whatever the fucking goddamn case may be, I'm asking you, what do you think? What's above? What's above the fucking president for those who have never really thought about it? And for those who have and who don't know. What are those entities? Who the fuck runs this country really, man? Because obviously you're not really running the country 100%. If there are 15 other layers and every layer is obviously every successive ascending, okay, going upward, every level in that ascension order is going, that level of ascendancy, of ascension, okay, is going to be more powerful than the previous, right? So you get up to 15, and this is an arbitrary number. This is what the public believes and knows about, okay? There are more. Trust me, there are fucking more, okay? So there are 15 levels basically above the president. Each one progressively, increasingly more powerful. What the fuck? Who are these people? Are they people? Are they aliens? Like the Alien group, ALION, Alpha Lima, India, Oscar, November, Alien Corporation. Who the fuck are these people, though? These corporations. Okay? You hear that there are products in America that people can buy in stores. You're like, okay, Grove, that sounds pretty simple, so there's got to be more to it, so what's your point? Right. How many are there? Millions of products for sale by American companies? Millions of products? Is there over 1 billion different things that humans can buy? Perhaps. Okay? Well, it's like 5 companies that fucking own the whole shit in America that are in terms of American companies. All of the different products that have been invented, all of the different shit that exists is pretty much owned by like 5 different groups, basically. Now, that's not always the case, but it pretty much is, depending on what types of products we're talking about. People are led to believe that it's all these different fucking companies and it's all this different shit. It's just made to look like that because the shit is illusory and it's totally an illusion. It was made up and it's a facade. So, the point overall in saying all of this and sharing all of this knowledge, intelligence, with folks is that you've got 15 levels that you know about above the president, all right? Above the nuclear suitcase. Then, beyond what the public even knows about that, are levels that the names of the levels, like, they're not even called classified. They're not even called secret. They're probably in some goddamn alien language that humans can't even speak. Humans don't have the physiology, the physiological, biological processes with which to utter and iterate such names, such constructs, because they're beyond, okay? And they are for real. I mean, these levels of understanding are fucking beyond and absolutely for real. They do exist. As surreal as that may seem, who the fuck are these entities? What are they? What are they that actually controls this planet? Now, I'm not a fan of Edward Snowden. I never liked his tactics, his strategies, his posture. I never liked his story. I never believed it. And I never thought that he was doing the shit that he claims to be doing in terms of his maneuverings. I never believed him for one fucking iota that he was and is a pro-American, a pro-U.S. patriot, or any of this kind of shit, and that he's doing this stuff for our freedoms. Never fucking believed it for one pico, femto, otto, nano motherfucking goddamn second. Nope. Not at all. He struck me as being a newbie, dude, when I saw his face and I heard his story. And I'm like, right, okay, dude's in the manga. He's got to get out of he's got access to computers. What's he trying to hide behind the computer keyboard with the manga love of anime and like all the supercomputer? I mean, okay, so we found out some aliens are fucking in control of the shit and it freaked him out. Okay? Dude, if you know that aliens are in control of some shit, and let's say they created humans, right? Dude, they know what you're thinking. And they can read your mind, dude, and they're on to you, dude. And they let you steal the data. And, I mean, come on, dude, your story is that tall whites control America? Let's suppose for a moment that it's true. Let's assume in the hypothesis of it all, and the hypothecation of it all, if you will, let's just presume that shit is true. Okay? Tall whites control America. Okay, well, this dude's like freaking out. He's like, I'm freaked out. Like, oh my God, they're fucking aliens. Oh, this is a fucking nightmare. It's the Twilight Zone. It's the Outer Limits. It's everything of that nature. It's combined Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. Like, oh my God, it's fucking, this whole thing is a facade. It's all the world's a stage. Shakespeare. Right, dude. So what? I thought you were hardcore, buddy. Like, I thought you could deal with that shit. So now you're gonna go and tell the Russians, and they're like, you mean to say, young man, that you have stumbled upon some earth-shattering information? You, of all humans on the planet, you were at NSA and CIA, and you fucking, of all the billions of humans on this planet, You miraculously figured it all out. Wow. You're super fucking special, dude. Yeah, we'll validate your ego. You totally, blew the whole thing open, bro. What? Really? We're made genetically, 66 modifications of our DNA? We were seeded on this planet interstellar, cryogenic embryos and shit that were in cryogenic canisters, and we were seeded like the Garden of Eden, Eden, get it? Garden of Eden, Eden the garden, right? Oh my God. Whoa. How did you get this intel? Oh my God, you're a super agent, and you were so smart with your mind to smuggle it out in a Rubik's Cube. Dude, oh my God, you're a mastermind. Dude, you're the most fucking brilliant genius hacker of all time on planet Earth. Come to Russia, dude. We'll totally take care of you, man, and hide you from the evil Americans. And tell us more. Tell us more about the aliens that control. The fucking Russians don't know already, dude. They're not in on it, kid. Fucking dude, come on, grow up, buddy. Have you ever, okay, you're a hacker, CIA, NSA, super, mastermind, and you've uncovered aliens because you're the only person on the planet that, what kind of personality fucking type? And of course, right, then you're going to get all these sycophants. They're the obsequious brown nosers, Edward Snowden, he should be given a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, like Obama, right? Yeah, because any motherfucker that comes forward like Hitler and tells you the same fucking story over and over again, right? Yeah. Oh, Edward Snowden, he's a goddamn fucking American hero who deserves a Nobel Peace Prize because, dude, he's so brilliant. But you didn't read James Bamford Puzzle Palace, right? That's not that in terms of variables and factors and mathematical models of the universe and constructs, you totally missed that one, right? Yeah, you see, I read Puzzle Palace before fucking Edward Snowden knew how to use a computer, and that's basically the story of Puzzle Palace, dude. James Bamford already wrote the story, more or less, that Snowden is fucking blabbing about. Snowden, being a fucking neophyte, being the newbie that he is and has been, right? The story, oh my God, Snowden, look at his puppy dog face. He's so innocent, and he so totally is all about our freedoms, and he's all about having everybody know all the secrets, because why do we even have secrets? Why do we even keep information off limits to the entire human populace? Now that Snowden has come out with all of these revelations, everybody on the planet should know totally all the same things. We should just be a beehive mind where we all know all the secrets. Everybody can engineer a super flu, and everybody can have a nuclear weapon, and we can all have nuclear fusion, free energy, 0-point gravity, energy, and we can all walk around with lightsabers and just say, hi, friendly neighbor, I've got my lightsaber today, right? Totally not lightsaber you in your back, right? Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, Edward fucking goddamn Snowden. Yeah, he's a fucking great guy, dude. And he really, totally, honestly, sincerely, with the military grade fucking brain fingerprint, biometric fucking military grade biometrics, yeah, he totally believes in your freedoms and my freedoms, dude. He totally is doing it not for self-interest. He's not egotistical. He's totally not conceited. He's not an egomaniac, megalomaniac, because he's behind the scenes. He's so low-key. He left his job that was paying him so much in, beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeah, because he had so much money, and, he did it all as a self-sacrifice. He's a sacrificial lamb. Look how many millions of followers he totally has, because, man, he should have a pardon, and he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. And Obama, he's not gonna scramble planes or jets, not for Snowden, no. But he'll do it for Manning. He'll do it for Bradley Manning or whatever her name is, And yeah, but totally, yeah. Edward Snowden, there should be more people stealing U.S. secrets like Snowden, because they're not really stealing. They're just doing it for the people, to let the people know how evil the tall white aliens are who control this planet and who have for billions of years, right? Because Snowden figured it all out. Yeah, okay. So the kid found out that fucking aliens have a hand in human development and that they've been on this planet and that, you know, they help build NSA and CIA and all these agencies and shit. And that, you know, Russia and the United States and Canada and the Australians and the Japanese and the New Zealanders and the Andorrans and the Teridians, right? Right. So all of these countries, like 1984, George Orwell, they're pitted against each other to give this to project this, to perpetuate this fucking grand illusion, all-seeing eye, that these countries are at odds with each other. Yeah. Today, we can't remember. Who is it? Are we at war with the Iraqis? 9/11. Who was it? Was it Osama bin Laden? Yeah, he attacked the Gulf, right? And then the towers came down with the Saudi Arabians, and then we went to Afghanistan because Colleen Rowley figured it out with the planes that were going to fly and not land. They didn't want to learn how to land, but they wanted to learn how to fly, and they didn't want to learn how to come down. And they were doing it for ISIS and El Shabaab and Oktoberfest and Black September, Alpha Zebra, and then the Halliburtons and the Bushes and the KBRs. Who else is involved? The Gorilla Triangle of the Diamond and the Pyramids in Egypt with was the Golden construction teams of developers, and who else was in on the inside job? J. Edgar Hoover and the Bilderbergers, and yeah, right? So that's the mass media shit. That's the story of 1984 and George Orwell. It's just a fucking rehash, right? So Snowden figures out that there are some extraterrestrial biological entities on this planet that have the advanced technology to be here and to interact with human society and human government. And he goes apeshit. He goes to Russia. And Russia's like, oh, dude, tell us more. Like, the Russians don't already know, Edward Snowden. Like, we're talking about an ancient fucking country that is near the Arctic fucking goddamn circle, okay? The North. We're talking about Russia, dude. And if you go farther north, okay, just extend the line over to Germany, extend the line up north, just hit the fucking Arctic circle, the North Pole, dude, okay? And like Russia totally for millennia hasn't known about what you're revealing to them, son. Please tell them more about how it's all controlled. And tell the Iranians too. Because like the ancient land of Persia, Xerxes and the Greats, like they totally didn't know about like hieroglyphs and all of the aliens that visited their ancient territories. You, son, are the chosen one to reveal the alien data to the whole world because you have uncovered something so great and so revelatory and so motherfucking unknown to everyone else. Right. And you like anime. What are you really doing overseas, dude? You know how to hide shit on computers and stuff? What are you really doing, dude? What's it really about, Snowden? I don't really think it's anything about any of the shit. I don't think it's anything about any of the story, any of the narrative that you've been telling all along. I never believed it for one iota of a moment. I think you're doing something else, man, behind the scenes, and you just wanted a way to mask that and to hide whatever behavior that you have online, and you wanted to do that overseas and abroad where you were as far away from the United States as you thought you could be. That's what I think. I mean, as someone who works in investigations, that's my belief, dude. I think you got some funny behavioral shit going on, dude. And so to hide it, to conceal it, you created this grand, eloquent story, this loquacious story. But, you know, of course, you're totally humble and you're totally the dude that, like, has all the, like, super intergalactic intel that you revealed that you just, like, so brilliantly, like, nabbed, i.e. gaffled from the fucking NSA, right? In the CIA. Yeah. Like, aliens that created this planet, dude, like, they'll totally just, like, let you walk away with that intel. Like, there are totally no safeguards at Area 51, right? No safeguards. Not at all. Like, humans working here, we're from star systems beyond, and we've been doing this shit for zillions of eons. We'll totally, have a scenario where a human being can get away with a chunk of data, okay? Here's a data set, and we'll just allow for a human to circumvent and bypass the system and walk away with it, especially when it involves, like, our entire existence and, like, who we are and, like, how we've been behind the scenes, like, the whole, like, time and stuff. Yeah, so whatever intel you claim to have, you were allowed to walk away with it. And the reason is, it's a trap, dude. You're stupid. Like, dude, so let's look at and it's a trap, dude, and you're dumb and you're caught up in some shit that you don't know about. So you went to Russia with this information and they knew that it was a trap and they played along with you. And, you know, I mean, what kind of fucking embedded technologies do you have, Snowden? Because, dude, you're obviously a pawn in the grand game of it all. But, you know, pathetically, I would say sadly, you know, with your ego, they just chose you because of your ego, dude. And that's all. And they're like, look, we're going to give this kid this script, this story, and we're going to let him run with it. So you walked out, you know, and you're like, I'm so slick. I just got over on the gray aliens and the tall whites, man. And I'm gonna start, you know, slinging this story to the media and shit. And I'm just gonna play the role like I'm totally humble, like I'm doing it for Americans because, you know, I could have been making like $500,000 a year and I was, but I forfeited that because I'm a martyr. I'm a martyr now. Look, I'm an anime guy. I like anime and manga, and I'm totally doing this for Americans' freedoms. Yeah, kid, sure. So, the fucking real aliens, according to Project Blue Book excerpts and reenactments and renditions and adaptations, accordingly, the aliens of one particular star system planet, they had killed off, in other words, wiped out, eradicated, annihilated. They destroyed, decimated. They totally fucking wiped out all microbial life, microorganisms, microorganic systems, microbiological systems. All microorganisms, microbial life on their planet. Was it an accident? Did they do it intentionally? Was there some shit that went awry? Did they start fucking injecting with CRISPR, like genetic modification technologies, and what have you? Did they start changing the genetic makeup of insect populations to induce viruses, to control crops, vegetation on their planet? And then shit got fucking wacky and went sideways and fucked up their whole ecosystem. And then they're like, you know what? We gotta go Xenon 129 on this shit. Do it. And they just, you know, press the button, dude. And they Xenon 129 their shit because, dude, their planet had become like that B movie. I like Will Smith and I like his son. I think that they're fucking great actors. But, you know, After Earth, though, it has some highlights. I mean, it's like, come on, dude, you're in a mothership and you crash land on Earth and you don't have a hyper sled where it's like you got to make it from one point on Earth to another point on Earth like 1,000 miles away and you're on foot. Come on, dude, where's the hovercraft? Like, shouldn't a mothership have, like, you know, at least 100, like, mini hovercrafts on deck in the event that it crashes on a planet and then you have to traverse the landscape for like thousands of millions of miles, especially if you crash land on a planet the size of fucking Jupiter or 20 zillion times the size of Jupiter. Right. So I'm supposed to believe you're in a mothership or any kind of ship that traverses light fucking systems, right? Galaxies of like star systems and shit. And you crash land and there's totally not a little mini spaceship on board where you can like hover like 0 point energy like around the planet that you crash land on. No, it's totally going to be on foot, right? Because then you can have an entire hour, 45-minute long movie, right? That's what sucked about that movie, and that shit was stupid. But notwithstanding, after Earth is some shit that could actually happen though, where Earth's ecosystem goes out of control, gets out of control, goes AWOL, goes ape shit like Edward Snowden, and just gets all wacky and shit and starts doing wacky shit, right? Dangerous, fucked up shit, right? Sideways shit. So, in that, the Greys apparently they had some shit like that happen. Now, I don't know, man. You know, they're advanced beings, and they're from, you know, Zeta Reticuli, right? Are they going to tell you the truth? Do they want you to know the truth? Do they want you? They might tell you the truth, and you might take the truth, and you might fuck your shit up knowing the truth, right? So, did they do it intentionally, or did they do it inadvertently? I don't know, and if I did, I'm not going to spill the fucking beans. Nonetheless, as the story goes, their planet, their system, they had to destroy, or their ecosystem was destroyed, and so they were left with basically a fucking barren planet, so to speak, more or less. And you know, it's not just one planet where they're from, but wherever they're from and wherever they've been, one of the planets, man, it just it had to be Xenon 129'd, and they Xenon'd it, bro. Xenon 129'd it, and so then they pop up on Earth, right? And in some different iterations of that anecdote, that story, that history, one of the places they've been on Earth is apparently they've been to our future Earth, right? So along the lineage of gray aliens from Zeta, along those lines, they're not just on Zeta 4 or Zeta Reticuli system or wherever. They, at some juncture in space-time, they are on Earth, thousands of years into our future of Earth, zillions of years. They're a genetic ancestor of humans and vice versa, okay? So, along the timeline of deeper truth reality, though they appear somewhat like us, but also very different, they are genetically connected to us in the fabric of time and space. Space-time, time-space. So they were and are from our Earth, but a future Earth. In other words, an Earth that has already existed, that has already undergone everything that you see around you currently in terms of you're on Earth, right? Okay, so their Earth that they have been to, which is your same Earth, they had to travel back here through temporal time displacement. So they came from a future Earth back to this Earth to gather intelligence, hyperspace, intelligence information. So they time traveled. They came back through time to figure out what happened. The Project Blue Book rendition that you saw online from what some people have said was the original uploader, who's the Canadian puppeteer animatronics expert. Have you asked him where he got that data from? Well, you might think it's fake. You might think it's made up. Let's say he told you, well, I read Project Blue Book, or maybe I didn't, but I see what you're saying. Like, it could sound like it's something out of Project Blue Book. I totally just came up with it, though. Did he really totally come? Is it so hard to believe that something like that is actually plausible? I mean, you know about the Bermuda Triangle. You know about wormholes. You know about Mel's Tunnel. You know about time anomalies, time slips. I mean, just look at time slips. It's happened to members of the U.S. military who have gone on TV shows like Mysteries of the Unknown, and they've talked about it. And these are people with the highest security clearances in the country, on the planet. And they're telling you on record that they were in a time warp. And it's not just people who have been in the military and government. It's everyday, average citizens who have experienced time slips. So they're in the real world fabric of time, space-time, as time is moving in all directions, you have time slippage that occurs naturally for whatever reason in retrocausality. And there are varying degrees of those events. The magnitude is different depending on the event. It could be a minor time slip. It could be a moderate time slip. It could be a heavy time slip. And you can see that with the Philadelphia experiment. You can see that with Al Bielek when he jumped off the ship. And we've talked about that, the DE-173. Or was it 163? Or was it 167? I can't, remember. So, but, whatever ship it was, and, because that if the government, our government, my government, your government, our American government, if we global world government that pretends to be like, just the United States government, but is really all the different governments of the world, like, pretending to be like just one thing. If we did it once, we did it again, and we did it multiple times. And so when we did it, and it went on record that we did it, Al Bielek, he was in, he didn't travel to just one future time. He traveled to two and multiple other future timelines, and then back, 20 and back. Well, he wasn't 20 and back, but the program 20 and back, similar. Those who will live a 20-year lifetime outside their point of origin come back to the point of origin as if they didn't go anywhere, and they're back to their age that they were before they quantum jumped. They're back to that 0 point, as if they had gone nowhere, traveled nowhere, yet they lived 20 years out, 20 and back. So they've lived now in dual synchronous, multi-synchronous, multi-space, doppelganger shit, right? And so Al Bielek did that. Al Bielek jumped off the ship, jumped through the electronic hyperspace fog, and he ended up in the future, and then jumped to another future, and then came back. And that was over the span of, he doesn't even honestly know, because there's no way to really honestly, with current systems of mathematics, even at the classified level, if he were out of it momentarily, if he lapsed, if he went unconscious and was out, he could have been out for zillions of fucking eons. And when he awoke, he's hundreds of years into the future or thousands of years into the future, but unbeknownst to him, he's actually been as a physical and spiritual energy being, his consciousness, his energy as a human being. He could have literally been traveling through time for zillions of eons, only to recall consciousness in two different future settings that were in his mind's eye, from his observational viewpoint, from his vantage point, where he remembers living on those timelines. He was only there for, some hundreds of years out and then back. He may have been thousands of years out, millions and billions, trillions and zillions of years out, and he only has recall of the two future timelines. He doesn't know where all he bounced around to in the real world multiverse of it all. So, the Greys, they came to Earth from a future Earth. And they've been throughout the cosmos. And according to Project Blue Book, according to reports, you can see the different documentaries, the beings that are able to transit hyperspace. It's probably, like I said, in episode 61, this would be episode 62 in the previous podcast. It's probably not good to genetically modify crops using insect viruses, artificially created viruses that are introduced into the insect host by way of human intervention. It's probably not fucking smart, dude. It's probably not a good idea. That may be what the Greys did, which that is us. We are them. They are us. We are they. It's us. It is us. Dude, just think about it, man. You probably don't want to fucking do that shit.